Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to the explainer for Tri-Valley Migratory Education Services. We usually just call it MES for short. So whether you're a brand new team member, maybe a client, or a really vital community partner, this is going to be your complete onboarding guide. We're going to look at the whole dynamic, living ecosystem that we operate in. We actually have a lot of fascinating ground to cover to show you exactly how this organization literally changes lives. Let's get started. So how exactly do you build a path to success for families who are just constantly on the move? Honestly, this is the beating heart of our whole explainer today. We're talking about highly mobile families, right? Folks who are frequently relocating for seasonal or temporary work, usually in agriculture or food processing. Just imagine trying to build a consistent, stable life, not to mention a solid education for your kids when your geographical foundation just keeps shifting underneath you. It is an immense challenge, but as we're going to see, it's a challenge with some very real, very effective solutions.
Here's a quick roadmap for exploring this interconnected web. We're going to cover our core mission and values, removing barriers for students, literacy and learning resources, the whole family approach, and finally, your role in their success.
Section 1. Our core mission and values, the foundation of Tri-Valley Opportunity Council. As a nonprofit community action agency, literally everything Tri-Valley does is rooted in identifying real community needs. And it all boils down to this one beautifully simple motto: people helping people. You know, there's a profound fundamental belief driving all of this, and that's the inherent value of all human beings. This core motto is what drives our overarching mission to improve the quality of life for individuals and entire communities. It's really all about strengthening those communities so people have better places to live, work, worship, and, well, just enjoy life.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that these aren't just, polite suggestions. These are the non-negotiable expectations for every single member of the MES team. Upholding the mission and demonstrating a fierce commitment to equity and access, absolutely paramount. And maintaining cultural and linguistic responsiveness is huge. We're serving diverse families, so we have to meet them exactly where they are. Add in professional integrity and collaboration, and that's the glue holding this whole operation together. This is the standard of excellence we expect every single day.
To actually execute those values, Tri-Valley operates this vast array of core programs. We basically categorize these into 3 buckets: education and development, basic needs and stability, and community support. So, from Head Start and Title I Part C over in education, to energy assistance, that's LEHPB, and SNAP outreach for basic needs, all the way to transportation and MN Shore health insurance support. The point here is that we don't just solve one problem in a vacuum. All these programs work together like a giant puzzle to create a truly holistic, comprehensive system of support. That's what fosters real, long-term stability.
Moving on to Section 2. Removing barriers for students, supporting highly mobile youth. 1,500. That is roughly how many highly mobile, low-income students the MES department supports all across Minnesota. Just think about that. When a family relocates for seasonal work, a child's education is immediately disrupted. Imagine having to change schools mid-semester. Not just once, but multiple times a year. The risk of falling behind academically, or, not graduating at all, is incredibly high, and that is the everyday reality for 1,500 students right in our network. So, the crucial point here is that these mobile students face extreme educational barriers. We're talking interrupted schooling, deep cultural and language barriers, health challenges, and profound social isolation. But to counter this, the Title I Part C program steps in with concrete solutions. We offer supplemental instructional services just to make sure they don't fall behind. And we use these really sophisticated data tracking systems like MES 2000 and MSAX so that when a student moves, their educational records actually move with them seamlessly. We handle the eligibility determinations, and we even run statewide summer programming to bridge the gap between school years. It is literally a direct counterattack on those barriers.
Section 3. Literacy and learning resources, providing tools for success.
A massive part of making this whole educational mission possible is the Midwest Migrant Education Resource Center. We usually just call it MMERC. It is this phenomenal, completely free lending library that's contracted to serve both Minnesota and Montana. And who accesses it? Well, teachers, school staff, and various educational programs. The only requirement, and this is great, is that they just have to serve at least one eligible student under Title I Part C. That means this incredible library is totally free to anyone actively supporting our highly mobile youth. No way, right? It's amazing. Now, this library goes way beyond your standard textbooks. It is packed with literacy materials, bilingual and language development tools, social-emotional supports, and even college and career readiness resources. Just think about this for a second. Imagine a young student arriving in a new Minnesota town halfway through the school year. They speak very little English and they're feeling totally isolated. Well, a teacher can tap into work, request a specific bilingual book or maybe a career readiness tool, and have it shipped entirely for free. That single resource can be the bridge that makes that child feel seen, engaged, and actually ready to learn. It literally opens a door to their future.
And building on that idea, literacy isn't just something that happens in a classroom. Initiatives like Hindy's Library and the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation, or Smith Book Grants, are absolutely vital. Why? Because they provide free, culturally relevant, bilingual books directly to families' homes. We're expanding family literacy and building lifelong readers by strengthening that family engagement right there in their own living rooms. It builds school readiness before the child even steps foot inside a classroom.
Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds. The whole family approach, connecting employment and student success.
So far, we focused a lot on the student, right? But we really have to look at their entire surrounding ecosystem. The whole family approach recognizes that education and employment are profoundly interconnected. Honestly, you simply cannot separate a highly mobile child's academic performance from their family's economic reality. Think about it. If the parents are struggling with unstable employment, maybe unaddressed labor rights issues, or just a lack of training, that stress absolutely trickles down. By stabilizing the family unit as a whole, we're directly impacting and enabling the student's academic success.
So, to actually achieve this family stability, we lean on some very specific workforce and labor initiatives. First up, through a grant from the Department of Labor and Industry, or DLI, we neutrally educate agriculture and food processing workers all about their labor rights and standards. We do this through one-on-one assistance and bilingual workshops. Basically, we're empowering them with awareness. Secondly, we have the Inspired Journeys program, which is funded by DEED. This is a real game changer. It's all about job training, individualized coaching, and creating internship opportunities. We're providing wraparound support services to connect adults to genuine family-sustaining careers. Because, when parents have a stable, safe career pathway, the entire family thrives. Section 5. Your role in their success. Bringing it all together.
And this brilliantly illustrates how none of this functions without dedicated individuals like you operating the machinery. This right here is the literal path to success that our staff and partners help build every single day. Step 1, identify and recruit eligible, highly mobile families who really need us. Step 2, connect those students to the vital MMRC and Title I resources we just talked about. Step 3, support the parents through our workforce and labor rights initiatives. And finally, Step 4, promote long-term stability and true educational opportunity. It's a highly structured, intentional process of empowerment. I want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative question. How will you use your role to live out the mission of people helping people every single day? Because whether you're filing paperwork, teaching a child, conducting a bilingual workshop, or partnering with us from the community, your work directly breaks down barriers. You are now part of a massive, holistic effort to inspire children and families to really strive for their fullest potential. Keep this question in the back of your mind as you step into your role and let it drive you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, welcome to the team.